us live.
Oh, hey everybody, what's up?
I can't see your face.
See Jiu-Jitsu with special guest, Coach Fabio today. He's here with us. Coach Mike, and I'm doing my hair. Ow. God! Anyway, guys, so we're going to be going over some of the things we did yesterday.
Yesterday?
And some of the things we did yesterday.
So yesterday we went over side control positions. We went over specifically some armbar from side control, and we also went over some side control drills. Okay, so we're going to quickly cover the drills then again, and we'll quickly gloss over the armbar once more. And then we're going to show some other submissions from side control that we really enjoy and that should really fit into everybody's kind of repertoire or toolbox. Right. So, where should we start? Drills.
Yeah, so drills. So with that being said, if you have kids, I posted earlier, about an hour ago, what the kids should be focusing on this week for drills and techniques. This first portion is a quick, just very quickly kind of little review of what those are. If you want a little more in-depth breakdown of all the drills and techniques, please look at yesterday's video, which is up on Facebook and YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook. Just Facebook.
Yeah.
So look at yesterday's video if you want to move more quick.
Or buy my brand new CD.
Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started. So, you want to go first? Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
All right. So, we talked yesterday a bit about knee on belly. There we go. All right. So knee on belly is an important transition position from the side control position. So it's good that we be able to do it. So again, I'm going to start good side control. Remember, good side control. I'm going to have my knee in his shoulder. It's either going to be inside his armpit or on the outside, depending where he puts this arm. My other knee is going to be in his hip. I'm going to go underneath his head with my elbow, and I'm going to create another wedge with my elbow on this side. A lot of times we like to trap the arm while we're doing it, so I'll grasp his arm on this side. So for knee on belly, what I'm going to do, if he's got the gi on, I'm going to grab the back of the collar. That's my preference. Some people don't, and that's okay. And I like to grab the hip. Okay, again, my preference is I like to use the clothing when possible because it's in the rule set for us to do so. And if you're on the street or whatever, you're going to do what you're going to do. If it's no gi, I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder on the near side and his hip on the far side. I'm feeling for this bone on his hip, right there. You can't see his face squinch when I do it, but it's there. Okay, so I'm going to grab, and I'm going to either slide my knee up and put myself in a good position. This is just good practice getting this position. Or I'm going to jump and put myself here. Now, look, my knee is pointed up on this side. So my toe is pointed out, so my knee comes up. If my toe goes inward, my knee will come down and allow him the ability to grab my knee and pull me out of the position more. Also, notice that when I'm with my partner doing this, you can't really see it, but my toes are on the ground over here, okay? When I do this for real, obviously, I'm going to take my toes up, and there'll be a lot more pressure. Okay, to our drill. Coach James is just going to lie here flat, okay? For more advanced practitioners, you can have your partner leave their knees up, or if you just want to try to challenge yourself more, they can leave their knees up. If you are working with somebody who is a sibling or somebody you're worried about fighting with them, just let their legs go flat, okay? The biggest thing is this. I want to end up in my good knee on belly position every time. So my hands are going to go next to his head. I'm going to put my knees together. So now my feet and my knees are together. On top of him, I'm going to rotate over, toes in the mat, and step off. Okay? I've still got pressure here. My weight isn't over this, it's over this. Same thing. Now, come back. And then, as you get more comfortable, you can just start to go a little bit faster. Okay? Now, if Coach James puts his knees up, we got to make sure we really windshield wipe our legs. Okay? This is really important. I'm going to windshield wipe my legs. So my knees come together. I don't just bring my feet sideways. Sorry, Coach James. I don't just bring my feet sideways. You saw me kick his legs here. If I go the opposite side, you'll see that as well. So if I come here, I'm not just going like this. I'm bringing my legs up and over. and over, and a step. Okay? And this is Neon Billy.
So, one more thing, guys. Parents, if you guys are having your kids or your spouse do this drill on you, somebody give yourself a little bit more of a workout. As they're doing the Neon Belly drills, just simply pick your feet off the ground 6 inches, tighten your core. It's going to give you a bit of a workout while your kids gets to do the drill themselves. So it's going to give you guys a good ab core workout while they're doing the drill, so you're not just laying here. Okay? So that's something that parents, if you want to get a little workout in yourself, it's something you can do with the kids. So next, reverse orlando. How do you want to show? Reverse orlando, Joe?
Yeah. We shuffle the legs around. Hi people. So I have here Coach Mike. Start across. I'm going to post my hands on his arms. And I go to make this position here, my base, so I can just lean here. Like put all my weight on top of his chest, like this. Okay? And then from this position, I'm going to shuffle my legs around his head. Put all my weight on top of his chest, like this. Okay? Then I go back, go forward, and back. See, I'm kind of floating in the air, like this. See? And I don't do it this like with my hands like loose here. I have to put all my pressure here. So this way he feels the pressure and he doesn't escape when I'm doing my shuffle. Like here, okay? Always floating, and I shuffle my legs around. Very easy, but you have to do this with a good technique, then you feel it, that's how easy it is. Other way, it's not going to be that easy. But if you put all your pressure on his chest, just is easy. And if you want to go even faster to do a good workout, let's do it. The last point is the speed relies on putting pressure on his chest. Without putting pressure here, you cannot go faster than like this. Like this. Okay?
So more pressure equals speed.
Yeah, more pressure, you can go faster. Much faster. Boom, boom, boom. Good?
Just another quick point about the pressure. If Bongo's got good pressure to me, he should be able to do a push-up on top of me, okay?
Yeah.
So
Good pressure. I can put all my weight like this.
This also ensures that his legs are far enough out that I can't move my arms to then capture his leg when he's trying to move around me or turn or anything like that. Okay, so that's why keeping your legs far enough down and putting your weight down correctly is such a big point to this. So Bobby said pressure like 20 times, really take it to heart, good pressure, okay?
All right, guys, last one. Last of the drills, and we're going to go over the techniques, and we're going to go over a couple new techniques today. Kids, remember, we're just going over the drills this week and the first couple of techniques. That's the main things we want you to focus on, okay? So, we're going to do, I don't even know what I call this. Step over. Yeah, sure. So, just like yesterday, guys, I'm here, I'm going to let the pressure off. He's going to underhook his arm. The underhooking arm is the arm that he's trying to frame across my neck, usually. So we usually either go here or we get an underhook. For almost all of our escapes, it's either going to be here or here. Sometimes we'll grab the collar, mainly here or underhook, okay? So he's here, he gets his underhook. I'm going to let him up. I'm going to step over his head. My leg's close to his body now. I'm going to drive my knee down to the ground. As I put my hand over, and I'm just going to fall to my hip. Very, very simple. I turn back to side control. I let the pressure off because if I stay here, I have good pressure. It's awesome I have good pressure, but for the drill, I want him to turn. So I let it up. I let him get his underhook. Step. Turn. Big back step. Stomp. Spike. With a cockroach. Cockroach. Up. Drop to my hip, back step. turn. And if you guys get good at it, really start making a workout out of it. Okay? This drill, guys, this drill is to counter an underhook. Okay? That being said, when I do stand, I'm going to spin very quick, and then I'm pushing into him. I'm keeping his back up. So now I have a really, really good dominant side control. Or I'll even feed this so I can start tapping the back. So that's the purpose of this drill. It's to counter an underhook and get in a really good dominant side control. Okay? So that's all of our drills. For more in-depth look at yesterday's drills. Okay? For yesterday's technique,
You want to do your spin off first, or we just went over this?
So, yeah. So, I'm here, I'm going to move your knee on belly. And I'm kind of doing my knee on belly drill. I'm coming up. But I'm going to kind of do my step over drill at the same time, just like yesterday. He's got a post. I'm going to weave my arm like a needle or like a string. String?
Thread through the eye of the needle?
Yeah, thread through the eye of the needle. That's what I was thinking. Thread. Here, grab the tricep, let off the pressure just like we do with my step over drill. So I can pull and turn him up. His elbow and hand on the outside of my hip. I step, except this time, look, I'm going to stay on my foot. I'm not going to drop my knee. I'm going to keep spinning, fall, slide my arm back to my armbar. Okay? That speed that we're working on, I want you to get the technique down to the step over drill and work your speed up. So this is like second nature.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Come up.
Very smooth.
And each time, I want you to go just a tiny bit faster. Not like
Crank
1 to 100.
Yeah, no 0 to 10.
1 to 2, 2 to 3. Just nice and easy each time. So I get faster and faster. And let's say I've done it 30 times. I get really, really fast. Okay? So that's our spinning armbar. Yesterday, again, if you want a more detailed breakdown, watch yesterday's video. We're just kind of going over today. The other arm muscle.
So that's a little bit more of an advanced armbar, if you will. I'm trying to think about where the frame of the video is. Okay, so pushing into is a little bit more advanced, so maybe you're not so athletically inclined in like being able to pull somebody, step over, and spin all in one motion is going to be difficult for you. So there is more of a basic, if you will, armbar here from side control, okay? There's a couple different ways we like to set it up, okay? And typically, I like to set it up again from the knee on belly position. So I'm going to go from side control, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up into my knee on belly. Now notice, when I pop up into my knee on belly, his hand came to my knee. Sometimes it'll come to my hip, but either is fine. What I need to do is be able to control the arm that I want to attack, which is this one, here. For me to, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull his arm up and I'm going to slide my shin all the way into his armpit at the same time. And I'm going to use my foot as a hook underneath his shoulder. So his arm's here, he's pushing here, he's trying to get me all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to yank this up and slide in at the same time. Now look, I'm sitting on top of him here, okay? This is very uncomfortable for him, and it should be. I'm still controlling the arm. He can't pull his arm out, right? I'm controlling with my elbow and my hip on this side. If, when I step over, he tries to go, he's just going to armbar himself. So what I'm going to do here is I just pull up, balance, step, and I'm going to re-secure the arm. Now look, I got his elbow past my hips. I'm controlling the head, and I'm pinching my knees, the 3 pinnacles for a good armbar. So now all I've got to do is, as I slide, if I fall, I slide back on the hand, just like Coach James. Remember, as I transition, so as I come up here, so we'll go through the whole thing one more time. I don't want it to be crowded. From here, up to knee on belly, he braces. He's going to try to push me off, whatever he's going to do. I'm already looking to slide. Control the elbow, slide up, step. Now look, I'm going to control the arm. So I just let his hand pass in front of my armpit. As I fall and I sit back down, I'm going to bring my heel into his neck, continue to control, and as I do it, I slide. It's a very slight slide because I've already got his wrist, so I don't need to go and double down on a grip. I'm still going to slide, and I'm going to control the thumb to where I need it. If you need, control the pant leg so he can't do any escapes. Again, a little bit more in-depth breakdown on yesterday's video. Please go back and watch it if you haven't already.
All right, guys. We're going to get yesterday's, what we kind of went over yesterday. We're going to go over We're going to go over 4 techniques, guys. It's a little more advanced. Kids, again, we mainly want you focusing on what we just did, yesterday's video. If you guys get all that down and you show your parents, hey, I'm doing this really well, then you can go over these techniques, okay? So we're going to go over a couple, we're going to go over one small technique. Actually, no, sorry. The first technique, kids, you can do. First technique, it's a key lock. So, I'm here. First one, very, very simple. Okay? I'm in good side control. A couple different ways I can do that. We're going to go over how to isolate the arm to make it very simple to finish a key lock or Americana, which all of our kids, I said 90% of them should know how to do. Okay, but we're going to have one little step. So I'm going to turn, sit my leg out, and look on my weights on top of them, and I'm on my toes. Which one can you talk?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Very simple, okay? I want all my weight on top of him. I'm going to push his arm down and step over his arm to trap it. Now he can't use it to block or post or do anything. When I get here, I'm going to turn back to side control. But look, his arm is not trapped. He really can't use it that much. From here, he's going to be pushing. He's going to be doing other things. All I'm going to do is when he pushes, I'm going to grab his wrist, push his hand down. Now this is just basic key lock 101, okay? Elbow's next to his head, grabbing his wrist. My arms are under his elbow. I grab my own wrist. I'm going to scratch the mat, turn my wrist in, and scratch the mat, pull his elbow. You good? You may use my...
No. I mean, I scratch the match.
Pull his elbow down. I'm going to keep his hand on the mat. It's important. Keep his hand down on the ground. Lift his elbow up and finish. Okay? I'm kind of lifting myself up to kind of give Coach Fabio more room. When I do it, I'm going to stay down and really lift it up. Okay? So back from the beginning. Basic side control. I sit out. Push his arm down. Step over his arm. Okay? So his arm, guys, look, is under my leg. I turn back to good side control. I can get my cross face if I want, or I can start working on this arm. If he's hiding it, we're going to go into our spinning armbar, or kimura, which is what we're going to do in a little bit. Okay? But if he's not, if he's in front, look, I'm going to swim, push down, or I can push with both my hands if he's being really, really stubborn.
Even your forehead.
Yeah, even forehead. Grab the wrist, elbows next to his face, very important. I'm going to come under, my arm's not already here, guys. I'm going to come under his tricep or his elbow. Don't come at his forearm. This isn't going to be good. Use elbow or tricep. Grab the wrist, scratch the mat. Make it really tight. Bring his elbow to his hip. His hand stays on the mat. Lift your elbow up. And I get my submission, okay? Remember, guys, whenever we're doing any submissions, especially my kids, really, really slow. Smooth and slow. Not fast and jerky, okay?
Especially with this.
So I'm here one more time. I sit out. Push your arm down, step over. I just have to get it over. I don't have to like really, really deep in. Just step over, turn. Immediately start working on this arm. Push it down. Wrist, wrist. Elbow tight. Lift your elbow up. And I got my submission. Alright, so kids, that's another one that we can work on today. Alright? Next one we're going to go over is off of the spinning armbar. Okay, so kids, if you put the spinning armbar down, you can do this one too. This should be your next one. So I'm here. I can either do this from this position, come to knee on belly, and I start working for my spinning armbar. Okay, when I get here, I step. Now, let's say he starts pulling his arm down, or I slip when I drop my knee. Either way, I'm in this position. All I'm going to do is I'm sitting on his head. I'm not being nice. I'm sitting on his head. I'm going to switch my grips. Grab his wrist again, just like we did the key lock. Now reverse. Now I'm going to, nice and tight, turn my body. Not my arms. This is very important. My whole body. So I'm here. My knees down. Switch. Switch. I can have this foot up. Look up. Turn my whole body. Very important. All right. So here, I isolate the arm. I go to attack the arm. It's not there. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to put my knee on belly. Pull it up. Step over. Drop my knee down. Sitting on his head. Switch my arms. Grab his wrist. Sometimes he's going to be grabbing his belt. That's okay. I can break just from here. Turn my whole body. And I get my submission. It's very important, guys. I'm emphasizing I'm turning my whole body like it's a core crunch. Oblique crunch. That's not the right one. Twisting my body.
You're more providing a, sorry, it starts with a T, now I can't think of it. But, yeah,
Twist.
just a twist.
It's
yeah.
a twist.
Yes.
Okay, if I use my arms, I'm not going to get the right angle, and if my opponent's stronger than me, like Coach Fabio, he's big and strong, I'm not going to get it. I have to turn my whole body. Last time, and then I'm going to turn it over to Coach Mike. Isolate.
You see any
Step over. Start to threaten the key lock. It's not there. Knee on belly. Look. Pop my foot up. 1, 2, 3. Still got my points. Okay. Bring it up. I got my armbar still. Okay. But drop my knee instead. Hug. Grab. I'm grabbing both of my wrist and his wrist. Up. Turn my whole body. Not here. This is doing nothing. Whole body. And that is the Kimura from spinning armbar. I'll do it next.
Thank you for Coach Fabio being such a good hookie for us. Get his shoulder, a little bit of a break or rest. We in front?
Just wash my glasses.
Okay, cool. All right, so another one really simple is the arm crusher from this position. And it's sort of going to end up doing the same thing that we already were doing. Now, there's a couple different ways we can do it. And how is this determined whether or not I'm going to go for this is where this arm is. If when I'm in good side control, this arm is in between my arms, so you see I'm here, I've got his head and his arm, I can go for this. If his arm is underneath me, sometimes people will try to defend side control by putting their arm underneath the top. I'm going to attack this arm instead for something else because it's isolated. So the goal is recognizing when you have an isolation of the arm. So what Coach James did in the first technique that he showed here is he's isolating this arm to then isolate this arm for the attack, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I want to keep this arm isolated. And if you've ever rolled with me and I started going for this technique, you'll notice that I bury my head a lot because I don't want you to bring this hand underneath me. I want to keep this here. So if I choose, I can come up to knee on belly first. And then if he starts to do the same thing where he pushes, again, I'm just going to weave in or thread the needle, and I'm going to bring this up here. Okay? And again, what I want to do is I want to let my pressure off. I want him to roll. So I bring it here. As I do, I double down, and I'm going to do a crunch towards him. So I'm going to try to act like I'm doing an abdominal crunch towards him, keeping this tight to my chest and my neck. I even like to bring my ear to touch the backside of his hand. And I go in. What I'm doing is this, guys. That ice cream type scoop. I'm just going to scoop up his arm as I roll him in. So we're here. As I roll him in, I'm scooping. Then I double down. And I'm going to do a crunch. Okay? If I want to step over the arm or over the head, I can do it. I'm going to lose some pressure. And then you might switch to your Kimura like Coach James just showed. So one more time. Now, if I don't want to go from neon belly, I don't have to. I can simply come from here. I like to start controlling with my right side first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up right here. And as I pull up, you see me straighten his arm out here. I double down and I come in. When you do this in real life, in a tournament situation, it's all going to be one movement. I'm going to pull up and I'm going to go very, very quickly on this. Otherwise, this is just going to be more of a submission attempt that opens things up. So you have to have a next step in general in your head. So this one is very kind of cut and dry. Not too many steps to it. You can do it from a lot of different positions. I've really fallen in love with shoulder crushers and arm crushers, as I feel like they open up a lot of things. So really quickly again, I'm in good side control. I've recognized I've got an arm isolated. If I want, I come over the top or I go neon belly. So I'm just going to come over the top of the head. I'm going to isolate here. A lot of times he'll try to pull his elbow back down and stuff, but that's why I've got this arm underneath the elbow still because I want it picked up. Then I hug it. As I come up, sorry. As I come up, so you notice I came up and I'm even twisting his arm a bit because I want to make sure that the arm is straight. Remember, it's a hinge joint, so it's going to bend like this. By twisting it, I ensure that it has to bend an opposite way in order to escape, so I don't give him an escape here. And then as I get here, I just double down, and again, I'm going to act like I'm going to look down towards my knees. I'm going to put my forehead to my knees, and as I do that, I'm bringing my hands to my chest, okay? And that is arm pressure.
Now that being said, guys, I feel like it's a little harder in practice to pull off. It's a very snappy movement.
Yeah.
Professor Fredson, I hope he's watching. For example, when Professor Fredson does this in competition, it's you better tap or it's gone.
I'm gonna break.
You got that quick to tap, otherwise your arm's gone. So practice it the best you can, especially whenever you start rolling or if you're rolling at home. Practice it the best you can in a safe movement. But competition, you can't mess around with it.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
actually, I don't think I've gotten one. I think I've gotten one.
Yeah, I haven't gotten from this position, honestly, because I think, again, this is a position that, and this arm crusher from this position is one that, you're taught as a white belt. It's one of your starting techniques. So it's a good basic one where you want to grab the concept, and then you want to adapt it to other positions. Like we know, for example, Craig Jones and who's the other really big guy?
Gordon Ryan.
Gordon Ryan, yeah, specifically like to use the butterfly and shoulder crusher, arm crusher to open up other things. So, all right. So last technique today I'm going to show is there is a choke from here. I don't know what the name of this choke is. I'll call it a step over, I guess, a step over choke. But there's several techniques within inside this. Okay. So if you're not really for joint locks, this may be one that's more for you. It's very simple. Kind of a little sneaky sometimes, and I think if you've got good athleticism and flexibility, you'll do better at it. So, again, I'm in good side control. I like to set this up by doing exactly what James did in the first technique, and that's turning, and I like to control the arm here. So again, it's more of a front headlock type position, or what I'll call front forward facing, or like a front side control here. So I've got good pressure on his chest right now. You notice his head is up, and I'm pulling up on his shoulder. So what I'm going to do is as I go to kind of turn back, I can use this as a means to I want him to think I want to do this, or I want to do this. So what I'm going to do is as I turn back, I'm going to control the head, and I'm going to step. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my foot right next to his neck, just like we did with our armbar from earlier. Right here. So from here, I'm going to squeeze my hips in, and for the armbar, I'm going to bring my elbow back to my hip, and I'm gonna bring my hips forward at the same time. So I'm here, I step over, I've controlled it, elbow comes around, and I throw my hips in. I like to kind of like put my hand on my knee here because it ensures that I'm controlling everything through here. He can't pull his arm out. You can pull your arm out, James, please do it. Okay. I've seen some people even grab underneath their leg here and do this. I don't need to reach back. I just put my hand here, drop my elbow in, I seal off the space, and I start bringing my hips in. And I'm going to control his elbow. My hip is acting as the fulcrum here, so I'm pushing the arm through my hip. Now, from here, I've also got my arm crusher. You notice I've got this arm under hook. So from here, I got my arm crusher. I can turn it in here and come two ways. He's tapping there. I can also set up a choke here. So if you're going for the choke, what you want to do is you want to have the thumb in the collar here. Again, I like to come underneath, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it the same way. I'm going to use my leg on the opposite side to step over, and I'm using my wrist, as we've always talked about, using the blade of our wrist into his carotid on this side. I'm going to use my foot to kind of help turn. I'm going to force his neck into it. If he's looking into my leg, he's going to I want to use my leg to force his head back. And I'm going to start to come over the top. And as I come over the top, what I'm going to do is this movement. I'm going to bring my hand in front of his neck. Oh, sorry. Everything's tight. So I come here, right here, and I start to get tall. And I'm going to get the tap. I like this choke a lot, but it's very difficult to get on higher level people. I probably haven't ever hit it on anybody above a blue belt, to be honest.
But it's a good position.
But it's a good position.
So it's one of those low risk, high reward techniques that we like to talk about. Because the thing is, if you miss it, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything.
And all boils down to setup too. So don't let me tell you like, hey, you can't hit this on a higher belt, right? Like, you know, Professor Ryan likes to use this a lot actually. So Coach Fabio's used it several times. You know, it doesn't mean you can't hit it against him. If you get to the position, you know, when you get here, you start to isolate the arm. So I've got my elbow, my knee blocking this arm. I'm attacking this arm. I'm giving misdirection. Hey, I'm going this way. They start to roll. So, oh, look what opened up right here. And I just drop my body weight back, and I'm getting the tap already there. Okay. So, today we've gone over 2 arm bars. Well, 3, 4, 5. If we count the arm crusher as an arm bar, which I think is okay to do. Yeah. So arm bars from a lot of different positions. A choke.
Shoulder locks.
Shoulder locks.
So the thing is, guys, I know it's a lot of techniques. Only start at the beginning, work your way up. We really like to show this chain kind of all together because it literally goes from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and it flows very, very well. So that's some things I think we're gonna be trying to utilize is get some like flow charts and stuff out.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, this is a really, really good chain of attacks that you can use, and they're all very simple. They're not really, in my opinion, they're not crazy.
Not flashy.
Yeah. So
effective.
Yeah, they're effective. So yeah, work on that. Kids, again, make sure you work on yesterday's video and only the key lock and kimura from the advanced. Really don't worry about the last set too much. Just work on those the most. Everyone else, do everything. So.
Right. Do we have any questions at all about anything? Okay, so really appreciate Coach Fabio again being a good rookie for us and helping us out today. I have again want to make sure that everybody understands, you know, safety above everything else. The more safe everybody's being, the sooner we can get back together. James and I have even been very cautious in allowing Coach Fabio to be here to help us out. And so please be safe. If anybody has any questions, again, let us know in the videos. Go to our YouTube page, comment, and subscribe to it so we can respond to you or put it in the next video that we do. You know, again, if you haven't seen the email from yesterday, take a moment to read it and watch the video from there. Professor Tom DeBlas gave us a for CU Jiu-Jitsu. Again, a guy who really has no idea who we are, but well known in the community. Everybody knows who he is. And he took the time when we reached out to respond to us. And so I think that's a really great message from him, to have his support. And of course, he has our support for his students, and of course, everybody in Jiu-Jitsu has our support. So just thank everybody for that. Wednesday, Thursday, no-gi stuff coming up.
Thursday, tonight, I will have the pull out. I forgot to do that yesterday, too. I'm dropping the ball. I'll have the pull out tonight for which fighters you would like to see in an exhibition match. Whatever type of match is your choice. Kind of depends on the fighters as well. So please vote tonight. Start voting tonight. The poll ends approximately about 3 p.m. on Thursday. It's a little late today. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. As we know more stuff about being able to open, we will certainly let you know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube page.
Bye.